Hello students, welcome back. Today we have come to the end of this chapter, that is biotechnology and its application. In our previous class we have studied about the application of biotechnology in the field of agriculture, in the field of medicine. Today we are going to discuss about the transgenic animals. That is how the application of biotechnology are involving the organisms which are formed for the benefit of mankind. See, first we have to understand what are these transgenic animals. Transgenic animals means whose genetic sequence has been altered by the introduction of a desirable gene segment of some other organism. That means here we have two different organisms. One is a host cell and another one is the foreign gene which we have taken from some other organisms. So when it is done as a result of introduction of this desirable gene, or whatever be the gene, desirable, undesirable, that we don't know. Suppose we are experimenting, so we are selecting a sequence of DNA which we are introducing into a host cell and studying about the changes that will happen because of the introduction of this segment of gene. And as a result of it, what things we will be observing in that organism, that will lead us for our studies for the further introduction of this organism into in the field of medicine, or in the field of vaccine, or in the field of any other thing, in the field of especially the diseases and all. That is what is meant by our study related to that of the transgenic animals. The most common transgenic animals that we are actually using for the study of this recombinant DNA technology is the mice. Okay, so mice, why? Because mice first of all is a mammal and it can be easily cultured in a very short duration of time, and the effect it will be having on its body, more or less we can consider that it will be having the same kind of effect in the human population also. So once it is tried on the mice, the various studies related to that of the genetic alteration, genetic sequence alteration by the introduction of a sequence of gene into this organism, then it is tried on the next level organism. Now what is this next level organism? The next level organism are the monkeys, because they are very near to that of the human. See, we cannot try any kind of thing directly on the human beings. First we have to test it on some other animals, and finally when the results are positive in the series of organisms, then finally it is tested on the human beings, and then it is marketed. So it is a lengthy process, but yes, for doing any kind of research and development we have to go through these kind of processes or this kind of pathways for obtaining the desirable product. So in our transgenic animals, the first thing which we are studying is that the normal physiology and development. When this gene is introduced into the organism, what changes or what alterations can take place in the organism's body because of the introduction of this foreign gene, that we study. We keep a note, we keep an account of it. And if it is something positive, then we can think about the next step, that is introduction of the same gene for the other organisms and finally for the human beings. The next thing is that these transgenic organisms are used for the study of the diseases. See students, there are some diseases which are quite fatal. Even if it is not fatal, there are something which can disturb the physiology of the organism, like for example insulin. The effect of insulin is very important for the controlling of the blood sugar. Now if this insulin is not secreted sufficiently, then what will happen, that if we want to study, then we want to introduce that sequence of the gene in an organism, that what will happen, that if the insulin secreting segment of the DNA is not working properly or is abnormal, that will be resulting into the disturbance in the normal physiology. So normal physiology we can study by that. The next step is study of the gene, study of the disease. Now study of the disease means what? It can be the study of cancer, it can be the study of Alzheimer's, it can be the study of cystic fibrosis. So all these things, if we are working upon some smaller organism, the smaller mammals, by the use of this transgenic animals, that is by the introduction of some cancer producing cells in these organisms, then we will be seeing that what is the growth rate, what is the tumor rate formation in the organism, how does the initiation of the tumor takes place, how does the normal tumor gradually turns into be malignant, then the study of the sequence of the disease becomes crystal clear for the people, and then the treatment becomes easier. So that is why transgenic animals are very important in the study of the diseases. We cannot directly study the effect of the diseases on the normal healthy man. So we have to study it in terms of the smaller organisms by subjecting them deliberately those genes which can cause these problems of cystic fibrosis in them, or which can cause the problem of cancer in them, which can cause a problem of Alzheimer's in them, and then we can study that what are the changes will happen from a healthy person to a diseased person when this kind of gene gradually becomes functional in case of the normal healthy human being. The next is biological products. Now this is also very important. See, human population not only focuses on supplementing the food enriched with that of the vitamins and all, but also it focuses upon increasing the food grains, the quantity of the food grains. So the quantity of the food grains is also kept into mind when we are talking it in terms of application of this biotechnology in the field of agriculture, and also supplementing it with some other nutrients. Like we have talked about the golden rice, isn't it? In case of golden rice, the rice is a rich source of carbohydrate, so it is supplemented with that of the vitamin A. So by taking the rice, the person is getting the advantage of carbohydrates also, as well as the vitamin A also. Similarly, testing is done in terms of a cow. The cow was, the name of this transgenic animal or the cow was called as Rosie in 1997, and this transgenic organism, that is this cow Rosie, could produce milk which was enriched with the human protein. See, cow's milk is not enriched with human protein. When a young baby is born, the baby needs to feed upon mother's milk for 6 continuous months. But there are some issues, medical issues, because of which, surgical issues because of which the mother is unable to lactate, and as a result of it, the baby has to be supplemented with synthetic foods. But synthetic foods is not good for the baby's health. So if the scientists thought of introduction of the segment of the gene which could in some other organism produce the same that is your protein in the body of that organism, in the milk of that organism, which when now is taken and given to the babies, to the young born babies, can be getting the same benefit like that of the human milk. So it was innovation, it was a new invention, you can say, and the protein content of this milk was very high, even higher than the normal human milk also. It was 2.4 grams per liter of the milk from this cattle. So this was outstanding, you can say, invention in terms of the genetic engineering by making a transgenic cattle, that is a transgenic cow called the Rosie. Similarly, there are some other treatments also, like for example, there is a disease called emphysema. Now what is this emphysema? Emphysema means breathlessness. That alveoli sacs which are present in the lungs, which increases the surface area because of this disease, that is emphysema, that sacs they become somewhat collapsed, or sometimes they burst, and so the purpose of the surface area to increase is lost, and this leads to breathlessness. So the transgenic animals were developed which could secrete the enzyme that is called as your alpha-1 antitrypsin. Now this alpha-1 antitrypsin enzyme could solve the problem of emphysema naturally in case of human beings. So this is also, you can say, that is the transgenic animals producing biological products which is helpful for the survival of the human beings in a better manner. Like the Rosie, the cow, which could produce the alpha lactalbumin in the milk, and which is a human, of course, protein, and as a result of it, the quality of the milk was enhanced, and that could be given to the babies. Similarly, this enzyme which is secreted by the transgenic animals could treat the disease of emphysema. The next thing is that which is the transgenic animals are used for is vaccine safety. Now see, presently we are working upon the COVID vaccine, and already we are in the verge of letting it go to the public in a large scale. Now testing is going on, and after the testing is done on the human beings, that is suppose 1,000 people as a sample, then when it is marketed, then it has to be seen that at how much quantity the people are affected because of this vaccine. So vaccine testing, when it is done, vaccine testing is directly not done on human beings. It is a lengthy process, again serological process, which has to be tested first of all in the laboratory on these transgenic animals only, and once it is tested, positive results are being found, then the vaccine can be utilized for the higher organisms like that of monkeys, and finally to the human beings. So vaccine testing is done on the transgenic animals. So transgenic animals in this case also are very helpful for the mankind in finding out the vaccine, because vaccine directly is not tested on human beings. It is first tested upon the animals like mice or like guinea pigs or rabbits, then on the monkeys, and finally on the human beings. The next is chemical safety testing. Now what is this chemical safety testing? See, we are sensitive to various kinds of toxic substances in our environment. We are sensitive to, say for example, air pollutants. We are toxic, we are subjected to toxicity like that of the drinking water, like that of even the food adulterants. So the toxicity results into again establishment of various diseases related to these toxicity, these chemicals which we are subjected to regularly. So the transgenic animals at first are made, first of all they are made weak. You can say in that case there is an ethical issue which we are coming, of course, the ethical issues related to this work of transgenic animals, we will be taking upon it. What are the ethical issues actually? But we have no other choice also. When this testing is done, they are at first made sensitive to this toxicity, and then they are subjected to the toxicity, and finally they are seen that this toxicity has what kind of health effect on their bodies, and then it is easy for the doctors or for the researchers to find out the way out to tackle with this toxicity, that how to make it immune, or how to make the drugs, or how to make the medicines related to minimizing the sensitivity towards this toxicity. So until and unless we are studying it a thorough thing with respect to any organism, that what effect this particular toxicity level, if it is increased in milligrams or parts per million in the body of an organism, what effect it will have, which organs will be affected, what will be the symptoms of those organs. So all these studies have to be done with the help of the transgenic organisms. So this is all about the transgenic organisms utility, you can say, in terms of field of medicine, in terms of sensitivity to the toxicity, in terms of biological products, in terms of study of the diseases, dreadful diseases like cancer, like cystic fibrosis, like that of your Alzheimer's and all. So keeping, as I was telling you, that keeping all these things into account, that these are very useful, very beneficial, fine, but the thing is that there are certain ethical issues related to these transgenic animals, or the application of biotechnology in the field of especially the medicines, or even you can say the transgenic plants also, which are helpful in increasing the productivity of the plant. See, the ethical issue means when we are making, when we are altering the genetic sequence of an organism, we are actually playing with the nature, because that is not the natural genetic sequence of the organism. So there can be some useful genes also which can be altered, or which can be lost forever completely for doing this kind of experiments on these organisms. And when these organisms are allowed to go to the natural habitat, then maybe when they are mixing with that of the normal population of their own species, they may result into some fatal effect on this population, resulting into total wiping of this particular population from this earth. So the existence of the population of this particular species can be at stake because of our experiments or our research work. So how far the research will be taken, or how much we can exploit an organism, there should be a limit for this. So the Indian government has made a committee. This committee is called as your GEAC, Now what is this GEAC? This is Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. This committee is going to approve that how much or how far you can do for the research work, or how far you can go for a particular organism in terms of research work. You cannot totally exploit an organism to such a level that that organism only becomes endangered from this earth and it becomes wipe out after some days. And even scientists are of the opinion that this GMO, that is genetically modified organisms, which we are making, they can have in the coming future some health impacts also on the people who are actually using the products of this genetically modified organism. We are losing, you know, the wild variety plants in terms of doing this all kind of research work. Research orientation means we are changing the normal gene sequence. It's like very easy. Molecular Caesar we are using, we are cutting a sequence, we are introducing another foreign gene over there, and we are seeing the effect on it. But what about the natural genetic sequence? So this way the original gene sequence of the organism is getting lost. There were some varieties of rice, there were some varieties of medicinal plants which are completely now in the verge of extinction because of our too much exploitation of these organisms. So there comes the role of the ethical issues, or there comes the roles of this committee, which is called the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, which limits our research oriented work in terms of an organism, so that the organism does not become wiped out completely from the earth. Okay. And now along with this committee which are keeping an account of all these things, here in your NCERT you must learn about many things, that there are some civilizations like India, like some Asian countries, even the China and some those countries who have some very rich tradition and culture in terms of their that is your medicinal usage of the things, because of their extreme biodiversity and all, that these things which are even penned down, even written in their scripts, in the manuscripts of their past history, this being exploited so much in terms of biotechnology that these are getting wiped off. Then there are certain countries like America, like some research oriented countries, especially America I want to talk with, because here you see in India there are in total 2 lakh varieties of rice varieties, and among that Basmati rice is something which is totally indigenous to India because of its flavor and because of its aroma. Basmati rice is known worldwide. Now there was a problem arised because of suddenly US patent was given by the US that is government to this basmati rice, which they had done some kind of genetic engineering, because of which they just changed something. They crossed actually the Indian basmati rice variety with that of the wild variety, dwarf or semi dwarf white variety of the rice plant, and they developed another variety of basmati rice, and now they declared the patent for that basmati rice. So what is patent is that when this patent comes into the market, the indigenous countries from where this basmati originally is, even they have to give the money to these companies before selling their products into the international market. So which was quite an injustice. The reason is because the thing is from our country and you are using our things, you are just doing experiments in your own laboratory, and finally you are letting it into the international market saying that it is our product. How can it be? The origin of the product is from India. That how can you claim now it is of US patent, isn't it? So there was a argument, there was a fight in the international court, and finally India was success in getting it back. That is the basmati rice patent. Similarly, there was a similar turmoil, you can say international turmoil, in terms of the medicinal properties of turmeric and neem, which is totally indigenous to India, because India has been working over turmeric, and in the Ayurveda literature also you will find the application of turmeric and neem in a wide aspect, in various kinds of medicinal aspects, and that also patent was challenged, or patent was taken. So these are the certain, you can say certain biopiracy. This is called biopiracy. Now bio word is again biological, means living material, and piracy means theft. So it is a kind of theft, means it is of one country but other country claims it to be theirs. Why? Because they have claimed the patent. So this, keeping all these things into account, keeping the ethical issues into account, we have to go in terms of findings, new findings, because after all, with the help of new findings only we can claim for, or we can go for a smooth or a healthy life in the coming future. But of course, not totally destroying that organism, or not totally wiping off this organism from this earth, or not making it totally got extinct from this earth. So this is all about this interesting chapter of biotechnology and its application and the various fields which we have discussed. I hope it made a little bit easier for you to understand this topic after this explanation. Please go through your topics from the book well, and that's all for today's class.